We gon' make it. 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 All right, people. What's up, man? It's your boy Trader Don here. We're gonna continue what we did. This what is this? Wednesday morning? What is Wednesday night? We do a continuation. We did this thing about the REITs. I had a good feedback on the REITs. A couple of people want to know some more. So we're going to talk about the best REITs to buy during a recession. But first, we're going to give an overview again in case some people might have forgot or they didn't see the first episode. We're going to go ahead and give a little overview of the REIT. So REIT, spelled REITS, but it's pronounced like it's spelled REETS, a REIT. And what is that? A real estate investment trust. And what is that? A company that owns and manages real estate. That's a trust. Basically is a real estate stock. Now, before we get to down here, we're going to talk about liquid, illiquid. So it's a real estate stock. That means it's liquid. It's bought and sold easy. But if it was just real estate by itself, that would be illiquid because it would be a slow moving asset. All right. So yeah. So that's us, the investors. We buy the shares in the trust. Okay. So the trust then they buy whether apartment buildings or warehouses or freaking what else, office space, what have you, they buy the office space. Then the money comes back to us through rental income. People pay their rent or the interest payments on the property goes in the trust, and they in turn distribute it back to us, the investors. Okay, so that's how it works. So, but like the trust is a good way, like I say, to own property without being a landlord, without the hassles of dealing with uh tenants messing up the property or constantly complaining. So that's a good way to own property without dealing with the hassle. Now the advantages, as I just said, investing without headaches or owning properties, income distribution, which it comes through the trust. You get it's like a dividend. Tax advantages because that's a tax write-off actually. And that's another thing about stock and investing. I would want to say all this investment and stuff is all type of tax write-offs and tax. Oh man, taxes are great. So yeah, that's a great advantage. The tax advantages. Liquidity. That's that word again. Liquidity. Bought and sold very easy. Yeah, it's the second word. Diversification. We say you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So when you're buying in a trust, it got multiple properties. You buy most likely those multiple properties are in multiple locations, as in multiple cities. Some are in multiple countries. So that's a great diversification because you're dealing with multiple properties, office buildings, warehouses, apartment buildings in different cities and countries that are spread all around. So you're gonna get a nice mixture. Not all gonna be good, not all gonna be bad, but that's the thing with diverse portfolios. The word diversification. If you buy a trust, this I'm throwing out just a random number. Don't quote me on this, but if your trust got 10 properties, not all 10 is gonna be bad, not all 10 is gonna be good. But the thing with diversification, you would like 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 to be good, which those six would then take care of the other four in the perfect world. 7 over the 3, 8 over the 2. That's the thing with diversification. All right, transparency, which means that it's easy to see what the trust. See, that's the difference between a real estate trust and a mutual fund. Some mutual funds aren't transparent, which means you're investing in them, but you don't know what stocks the fund is purchasing. You just know what's the sector, but don't know exact stock. Whereas in a whereas in a REIT, every property that the REIT owns is very transparent, easy to see. So that's great. Those are great advantages because you want to, like I say, you want to know where your money's being spent. You want to be able to see where it's being spent. You want to diversify your money, spread it around properly. You want your money easy access, liquidity is the word. You're gonna speak that forever. Tax advantages. That's again, people that trade, man. You guys want to learn about the tax shelters, how you can roll money through different investments. So here go a quick tip. All right, so normally when you make a trade and you make capital gains, you have to pay taxes on that, but not if you take that money and put it in a other investment. So that's how you can keep rolling your money over without paying taxes on it. Just keep moving it through different investments. I think it's like a 3 month window. I forget the exact time frame. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, taxes is very there's tax advantages. Just know that. Income distribution, which means that when they pay the rent or the interest payment, that's what you receive, the income distribution. So that's a very good part. That's very important in a REIT. And of course, investing without dealing with tenants. Now, the disadvantages of the REIT. The disadvantage is it is a stock. It's a real estate stock. It's a trust. So you stock market exposure. It moves with the market. It goes up and down. It can trend trade, range trade. It go bullish. It goes bearish, up or down. It's a stock. So that's a disadvantage. Slower growth than other funds. Now the reason why that is because of that right there. That's the only reason why. It's all right. So most companies that don't do dividends or don't take the profit and give it back to the shareholders, they reinvest in the company, which in turns make the company earns more of the stock. So you get capital gains in those companies. Whereas in a REIT, since you're redistributing, funds are being redistributed out to the shareholders, the company can't reinvest into itself because all the profit is given back to us. But again, it depends on the person. If you want the income distribution or you want the capital gains, that just depends on the person. But summer tax, another disadvantage, summer tax at ordinary income, which means that some of the guidelines of that specific REIT didn't meet the tax advantage of someone that give you tax advantages. And another disadvantage is they take on a lot of debt, being that it's property. Okay, so if no one's paying the rent, that property still has to be paid. If that's a vacant building, there's still taxes and stuff have to be paid on that property. So the trust itself would start paying that, and that's how you get into debt. I'm sorry, not you itself, but the trust is getting into debt. And therefore, like I tell you people, fundamental analysis for anything, for any long-term investment. See, a REIT, I personally wouldn't day trade a REIT because I just don't think it's viable for it. I mean, it could be day traded, but a REIT is more of a swing or a long-term trade because it's income distribution. So you really want to be in and out of that. You want to get into that and buy more shares of that. So therefore, day trade in a REIT doesn't make sense because you're in this to open up an income stream. So therefore, you're going to buy shares, then you're going to continuously buy shares to get more and more income distribution. That is the main point of the REIT. I'm going to come off the screen share. You're going to see just my ass now. Yeah, that's the main point of the REIT, the income distribution. So therefore, day trading, matter of fact, swing trading doesn't make sense, because it's all about. Well, it depends on you as a trader. Do you want capital gains or do you want income distribution? And so therefore, it's up to your decision to make which one you want, the capital gains or the income distribution. All right, so now we're going to get into which are the best REITs to buy or to invest in during this recession. Okay. Now, the first one is QTS, Quality, Q2S Realty Trust. Now, this right here is a data center REIT. Like, okay, so this isn't a warehouse or an industrial center. This is a data center. And the reason why the data center REIT is recession proof because you're gonna need data. Like those are see, as I said in the previous podcast, you want to invest in REITs that's recession proof, and no matter what economy, data centers are always going to be there. We're going to need supercomputers. Computers are always going to be like they're never going to leave. So that's a good sector if you guys are looking to invest in a REIT. Data centers. The best one is QTS. That is the ticker sign QTS. They actually increased over 30%, while the rest of the sector actually went down. And QTS, they have over 7 million square feet of data center space in North America and Europe. All right, so what's the companies that would use a data center? Big supercomputers, banks, um, trading brokerages, anything where you need instant, quick information. That's where you need a data center because you need a space for the supercomputers. So therefore, like again, that's a good sector REITs to invest in. As we said, QTS. That is the best one of that one. Yeah, so like I say, REITs, man, you want to look for recession-proof REITs. Again, this is another one in the this is EQIX, which is Equinix. Hmm. Again, this is another data center REIT. I did this research for y'all, but I'm about to get on some data center REIT. This is the other one. This one gained 6%, which outgained the other market. So, all right, so like okay, so as I was saying, some of the real estate might be down, but some areas of real estate are up, as we see in these REITs, because they're the property that they're own is property that's in value, that's property that's needed, that people are going to buy that property because they're going to use that space. So, like I said, when you invest, you want to look for recession-proof industries or recession-proof REITs or whatever you want to hedge your portfolio against the risk of a recession. You want to look to invest in because you're in a recession. Okay, like again, this is EQIX. And this is the world's largest network of interconnected data centers, which means they all come to like one central location, which means that's good because everything's coming online nowadays. So I guess like investing in the data center would make sense because everything's coming online. So those are all great investments. The third one, it is another data center. So anyone out there looking to invest in REITs, man, you want to look for that data center REITs. These are the top so far, the top three. Um, this one is DLR, the Digital Realty Trust. Again, this is the data center with supercomputers. So basically, again, man, what we use in the data center? Like I said, a bank, brokerage, maybe a law firm, news network, things like that, where you need information at fast speeds, go constantly. Okay, now so the top three REITs was all data centers. Okay, now this is a whole different category. The fourth place one is American Tower Corporation, AMT. Okay, now this isn't a data center REIT. This is a wire and broadcast tower REIT, which again, this is a recession-proof industry because radio, you're gonna need radio, you're gonna need broadcast, phone towers and things like that. Satellite, so that would be a great REIT to invest in. This American Tower Corporation, AMT. Okay. Now, it is one of the largest global REITs with over 180,000 tower sites in several countries. Okay, so that's a good one. I'm about to invest in that. AMT. Yeah, that's like I say, broadcast towers, satellite dishes, radio stations, things of that nature. That's a recession-proof industry. So you're always gonna Now, when I say a recession-proof industry, that doesn't mean that you're not going to see losses. What that means is your portfolio is not going to go back as much as things that's not recession-proof, like electronics. That's not recession-proof industry because people don't necessarily need computers, laptops, tablets. They may want them, but they're not a necessity. So whereas recession-proof stock may only drop 1 or 2%, whereas something like that, a luxury stock may fall 15 and 20%. That's what I mean by recession proof. So I don't want anyone think and say, "Oh, you're going to invest in these and you won't lose money." You in a recession, everything goes down. It's just that you're not going to lose as much as something that's not in a needed category. That's what recession proof means. And sometimes, hey, let me rephrase that though, because in certain times, shit, there's stuff that goes up during a recession, like the biotech stocks, like I keep telling y'all, healthcare, things like that. Those are actually going up during a recession. Like this economy is kind of weird. It's like half recession, half not. This is weird. All right. Now the fifth one is SBA Communications, SBAC. This is another it does towers, wireless communication, cell phone towers, satellite dishes, things like that. So Prologics, PLD. That's the next one. Now, as I'm going through this list, okay, this is the first one that's not a data center or a tower, which is they deal in data actually, where wireless transmissions, cell phones, line of sight communications, computers. That's all the REITs like that. And this is actually a warehouse, Prologics PLD. Yeah, yeah. You see, the thing with REITs like that, they all right. So Amazon, FedEx, UPLS, UPS, they operate out of warehouses. Most of the times, those warehouses are owned by REITs. Those are the industrial. You know they deal with office, residential, and industrial. So those industrial spaces, in places like Amazon, they make buku amount of money. So any REIT that has Amazon, that's money right there. It guarantees Amazon's never not going to pay their property. I'm sorry, pardon the double negative. Amazon will always pay their rent. They're not going to be late or nothing. So anything like I said, Amazon's, FedEx's, where UPS, Chewy, any big warehouses that deal with big amount of customers are most likely housed in a REIT. They're in a at a warehouse that a trust owns. Therefore, that's great ways of collecting your rent because those big warehouses will not default. They're always going to pay their rent. So that's great, man. Um, you want to check on those, especially with this e-commerce. Everything's coming online. Like that's where it's at. So the next one is PSA, self storage REITs. Now again, like I tell you guys, a lot of times, most of the properties that we see are mostly owned by REITs, and you wouldn't even notice it. So a lot of those self storages you want to invest in, but in an economy like this, I would stick to the top ones, man. Go to like um data centers. I can't stress that enough. Data centers, wireless communications, things like that. Or what warehouse, what they're called actually in industrial space REITs, not warehouse REITs, but industrial space. Because again, I just like I said, FedEx, Amazon, UPS, things of that nature, they're all most likely housed in warehouses that are owned by REITs. That's guaranteed income. As I said on the previous podcast, you want to look for cities with large young adults because excuse me, yes, all of those apartment buildings are most likely owned by REITs, and that's how they get paid by them paying their rent. So cities that got great jobs, they got a great nightlife, they got great singles life that's gonna attract a lot of young adults. LA, New York, Miami, places like that, man, they got all types of condos, most likely. 9 times out of 10, those condos are owned by REITs. Invest in those condos. Shit, every city you go to now, you're seeing condos being put up, high rises everywhere you go. So I don't see why you can't invest in those REITs. And again, when you invest in a REIT, it's not to invest in a property. I mean, I get it. I guess it is, but the main point on investing in a REIT is to get the income stream that you get from owning those shares. Like when people pay the rent, you get a percentage of that. That's the main reason for owning a REIT, in my opinion. That's the only reason why I'm even thinking about investing to it. That's an income stream. Whereas some stocks that don't give dividends, yeah, you make money through the capital gains, which is good. I mean, that's the capital gain. You buy low, you sell high. That's a capital gain because you bought it and then it rose up. You sold it, you made money. Whereas REITs also make capital gains. They might not be as much because they're redistributing the profit to the shareholders. But a REIT is like you can gain money through the capital gains and you gain money through the income distribution when they pay their rent. So that's like you getting paid both ways. But the only thing about the capital gains, you only realize your capital gains once you go short and once you sell your positions, close your position out. So either you went short or long, the opposite way when you close that position out, that's when you receive your capital gains. If you never close your position, then you don't realize that's the difference between realized profit and unrealized profit when you close that position. Whereas a REIT, it doesn't matter if your position. Well, obviously, if your position is closed, you don't own no more shares, but you're going to get paid by the shares you own. So basically, just buy more shares. Now, when you look at REITs, like I say, man, that's the biggest way to get into the real estate market without having the capital up front or not having the patience to invest in the real estate market. Because again, difference between real estate and a REIT is liquidity and illiquidity. One's a fast moving asset, one's a slow moving asset. That's the basic difference between a REIT and traditional old school real estate. Well, and also old school real estate, you need more income to invest in. Like REITs is like stock, so they're cheaper obviously than houses, half a mil, quarter of a mil. Oh shit, you buy a warehouse, things like that. Whereas a REIT, they're just a couple dollars a share, 15, $20 a share, which is great. Like I say, $500, $1,000. You just gotta build somewhere, people. You gotta start somewhere. Yeah, I had someone inbox me today actually after I did the REIT. He showed me he actually bought some shares in the REIT. And this shit was only $2.50 a share, I think. So it goes to show the prices vary. The stocks. They're going to be some on the high end, some on the low end. It's going to be small cap, mini cap, small cap, large cap, medium cap. That's the capitalization. That's a amount of shares multiplied by the last price of the actual stock. So like I say, man, the whole plan is open up that profit stream, get that second stream, make more income. That's what it's all about. And REITs is the first way. Like I did the first thing on profit streams, and now I'm gonna go through each stream itself and show you each way. Like tomorrow we might talk about dividend stocks, which is the best stocks for dividends. Like again, you want quarterly payments or you get paid by the month. Like that's the thing with the REIT too. You can actually choose if you want quarterly payments or monthly payments. I would choose monthly. I want my shit every month. I don't like waiting. So yeah, man, with those income streams, man, you get enough streams, you can quit your job, start the next challenge in life. That's what it's about. On that note, we're gonna get up out of here. You know what I mean? What is this? Wednesday night? Yeah, it's Wednesday night. Yeah, coming up tomorrow morning, we're gonna get on some dividend stocks. Do some things like that. Talk about getting the income stream. That's what it's all about, people. Yeah, my guest, she was busy. I had a guest, but she kind of has at the last minute something came up, so I had to wing it, I had to freestyle it. But I thought it was good though. It was a good freestyle. I was like Kiss out there freestyling. On that note, people, we gonna make it. See y'all tomorrow.